welcome to Seven Rivers Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, fitness. The bright light shines on Holmen Boys Basketball here this week. And our guests today, three seniors, Braund, Michael Shumway, and Drake Walensky. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
As we take the show 2 days from Christmas, so a pretty special time of the year for all of us. And Braund, you get your Christmas shopping done yet?
Yeah, I do have my Christmas shopping done at the Holmen High School. We run our school store, so it's like benefiting a local student as well. So I got my stuff done there while supporting a fellow student.
Good for you, and because you got a big family. Did you buy something for all of them at the school store?
Not all of them. I had to narrow it down to who I was going to focus on the most.
Well, good, and I suppose Michael, knowing you, knowing your family, you probably had your shopping done by way before Thanksgiving.
No, I don't know about that.
Get it all finished, though, right?
Well, I still have a couple. I'd like to, ride the edge on getting the Christmas shopping done.
I hate to admit this, but I'm with you. 'Cause I have a few things to do yet tonight and tomorrow. But how about Drake?
I'm the kind of guy that just gets in and gets things done and over with. So I actually finished mine a couple weeks ago, but I have a small family, so it was pretty easy.
So good. How about New Year's resolutions? I know a lot of young people probably aren't into that, but let's fast forward to 2017. You thought about that?
I have a little bit. Just kind of, along with athletics, just a lot of things I want to focus on just to better myself, to further my athletic career in the college.
Are you satisfied with yourself?
I'm satisfied for where I can be right now, but I know there's always room to improve.
Good. All of us certainly have that. No question about it. And Michael, 2017, right around the corner, you're graduating.
Mm-hmm.
You think about what you've done, a lot of accomplishments we're going to talk about. What do you want 2017 to be for you?
I just want it to be a smooth transition into college. Just stay upbeat and stay connected with my friends and family, people that care about me as I make this big transition.
A lot of people care about you, and you've all made great, certainly impacts, and you're well remembered, and you left a legacy. And certainly Austin, who I know your family real well and have followed your success story since you were very, very young. You've been blessed, no question about it, athletically, and New Year's celebration coming up. Do you have any goals, any aspirations?
Kind of like going into college. I'm going to play baseball, so I just want to focus on. It'll be nice to focus on that one sport and school-wise, and just try to do my best I can at college.
Let's go down the yellow brick road for a minute, because I watched all of you. You were involved when you were younger, and I watched particularly when you were in middle school and when you were younger than that, involved in the Holmen program. Let's go back down yellow brick road and identify some defining moments in as you grew up playing sports. Austin?
Defining moments, I'd just say all the times with my dad at home. Before, when I was a little kid, I couldn't catch a fly ball to save my life, and my dad would just stand out there with me. We have a big hill in our driveway, so he'd stand at the top of the hill and just throw balls to me over and over again until I caught him. I'd say working with my dad all the time.
Yeah, and knowing your mom, she was probably right there coaching and picking up the balls that you missed.
that or taking pictures all the time.
Oh, yeah, she's good at that.
Pictures, yep.
Yeah, in fact, there's some Facebook pictures of all of you, which is great. And Michael, you were a good athlete when you were younger too.
Mm-hmm. I was all right. I mean, I'd say I just always was working hard. When I was younger, I wasn't always the best, but I kept working hard, and now I'm here and on varsity, and it feels good.
Yeah, and Drake, go back to when you were growing up and think about maybe some coaches that you had when you were young and some defining moments with that.
I think a big coach that definitely rings a bell would probably be Matt Zeba. He's an assistant coach at UWL now. he was a big influence on kind of my baseball career, and he kind of pushed me to an extreme that I never thought I could see myself at, and he kind of just helped me develop the love for the game of baseball.
Mm-hmm. And you've been successful. You've accomplished a lot in football, too. You had some honors that you've achieved there.
Yeah, definitely I'll put a lot of time into that. I'm proud of them, but I definitely think that any person on the field with me definitely could have got the same awards. They work just as hard as I do, and we all just work together to push ourselves to be the best we could on and off the field.
There's so much selfishness, I think, in sports now, and particularly I think it's personified at the level of the big leagues and the professional level. But you guys seem to have, and Steve Blank is a good friend of mine, and he played for me, he worked for me, and he stresses team more important than individual play. And how do you demonstrate that, Drake, in any sport?
I think it's just stepping up and trying to be that leader, whether you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing or not. And like if you don't know what you're doing, you just ask questions to figure out what you got to do to be on the same page as the rest of the team. Just you got to ask that bigger person, and like just don't be scared and hesitant. And if you don't know, just don't be afraid to ask for help.
And Michael, you seem to be a humble, kind of reserved leader in that style, and you're from what I read and when I talk to your teammates and people at home, and they say you don't seek the limelight at all.
No, I just I kind of like to hang back, just work hard, kind of lead by example.
Give us an example how you do that. Look back to some of your games, and how do you try to show that to friends, family, teammates?
Like if something's going wrong on the court and, coach starts, yelling at people or whatever, I just keep working hard out there instead of complaining to coach or getting mad at refs and stuff like that.
Well, all of us have played for coaches that get on you and challenge you, and what a lot of people don't understand is they're looking out for the very best, and they want you to rise up to another level. And the reason they're on you is because they care. If they weren't on you and challenged you, they may be giving up on you. Describe an ideal coach, Michael. Who do you like to play for?
Well, they got to be I'd say on the court, yelling and stuff. That just means they're trying to make you better and stuff. But if they can combine that with off the court being a nice person and kind of showing that they're just there to support you and try to make you better and not just trying to drag you down.
That sincerely care about you, no question about it. And of course, Austin, you've played for all kinds of coaches from the time you were very young till now. Describe for all of us an ideal coach. Who do you really like to play for? No names, but just the qualities.
Qualities, he wants what's best for you on and off the court or field, wherever you're playing, and really cares about you and is trying to get you better. But also, like Michael said, is hard on you in those times when you need it, to rise above the rest, arrive to that next level you need to achieve.
Austin, you've had tremendous success, and we've watched you as recently as just last month when it was revealed that you're playing baseball. Division II baseball.
Yep.
At Concordia, and there was a film clip on TV, and along with some other athletes at Holmen, and not surprising because I've watched you play baseball. In fact, we've done multiple sports with you involved: football, game of the week, baseball, postseason, and there's a lot to ask of you. Talk about some of what's expected of a guy like you with all those skills.
I just try to do whatever the coaches need. If the coaches need a guy to go in there and pitch a couple innings or go run the bases, whatever they need, I just try to fill that gap that they need. And out of my teammates, they expect me to be a leader out there. So, if I can't hang my head, because if I start hanging my head, then the rest of the team's going to start getting down. So I just try to keep that positive mentality and keep them going.
Well, you're accountable. You are on a platform. You are a leader, and you've accepted that leadership because you've chosen to be on a platform by being an athlete.
Yep.
How do you demonstrate that?
always doing the right thing no matter what. Even if like the right thing is like a really hard decision, like you gotta do that right thing. So I have guys follow you.
So when you have younger players, young kids, elementary school and so on, looking at you play, how do you demonstrate that on the court, for example?
I mean, if like a bad call, like if you get a bad call against you here and there, like you can't like argue with the ref. You gotta like keep being positive, talking with your teammates, talking with your coaches, and just make sure everybody's keeping that positive mentality.
Things don't always go your way either, Michael. I mean, there's adversity in everyone's life. How do you demonstrate adversity and rise above that?
I think you just gotta stay consistent with what you're doing through the highs and the lows of life, and keep working towards what you're trying to achieve.
And Drake, everything hasn't been easy for you. You've had setbacks, and your character is built on how you react to setbacks. Give us an example in your life.
I think probably the biggest one for me was the shoulder injury I suffered last basketball season that took me out of basketball about halfway through, and unfortunately I couldn't bounce back during the basketball season. But it was a shoulder injury that was on my throwing arm, and so I was told that they didn't know if I'd be ready for opening day of baseball, and so I just really worked hard at strengthening the shoulder back to where it needed to be and training it to do what it needs to do. And I was blessed to be able to make it back for opening day of baseball and have a good, strong season.
Great. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to introduce our sponsors to our viewers and let you guys catch your breath, and we'll be back with more right after this.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
Well, I was very nearsighted. I couldn't see 3 feet in front of me without things being blurry, so I had to wear glasses.
We screen patients. We try to make sure that they're appropriate candidates for LASIK, that their prescription is within the range, that it's reasonable to do it, that they have a good understanding of what they can expect, that they have a good understanding of what the benefits are and what the risks are.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again today, the spotlight on Holmen Boys Basketball. Austin Braund, Michael Shumway, and Drake Walensky. Let's put our academic hat on for a little bit. I think you guys go to classes, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you're multi-sport athletes, but you got to go to class once in a while. At least, Austin, you go to class?
Yeah.
So talk about your class schedule and your academics and how important that is to you.
My parents have always taught me to put academics first because sports aren't going to last your whole life, obviously. So like they've been really on me like to make sure I keep good grades and like keep them up, and like I find time to get my grades done, even if I have to skip like an open gym here or there to make sure my schoolwork's done.
And do they monitor that too to make sure?
Yep, my mom's always monitoring that, and if I get even like slip like a little bit below than what she expects me, I get a text right away from it.
Something tells me that Deb Braun does that, just knowing her as a friend. And Michael, I know you're involved in DECA, and I know you certainly put priorities in place with academics.
Mm-hmm. I think I just, academics got to come first. My mom's not like Debbie where it's like on me all the time, but if I start dropping below B's and stuff, she gets on me, make sure I'm doing my academics, and then sports comes second.
Yeah, and Drake, you probably aren't in the same classes, but word has it that you do go to class quite a bit.
Yeah.
And because I know your administration probably wouldn't like it if you didn't. So, favorite class and some of the classes that you take.
My favorite class is probably gym class. Not gonna lie.
You guys hear that? Who's your fire teacher?
I had Barsonis.
Okay.
I liked him, but some of the other classes I take are like college prep and AP Psych, so I do have a few of those tough classes in my schedule where it's enough to balance it, where I have enough time to finish them, but still enough that it's going to look good on a college application, and definitely just finding time for those classes is a big key, and being a 3-sport athlete, that's time management's a big thing.
Speaking of toughness, Jay Billis has a book out called Toughness. And it's not toughness in terms of necessarily being in the paint and, drawing a charge, and certainly that's part of it, or getting rebounds or playing man-to-man defense. It's mental toughness. It's toughness when you adversity, when you have a bad call. We've talked about that, but just being a tough person, being able to handle criticism and so on. And Coach Knight talks about toughness when he says toughness. The mental is to the physical as 4 is to 1, Austin. How tough are you as a person? Give us an example for our viewers of how you demonstrate raw toughness.
I can go back to an injury my sophomore year. I sprained my ankle, and it was really bad. And the trainer and the doctor I went to said I was going to be out 8 weeks during the basketball season, and I just couldn't accept that. I came back in 4 weeks, and just to prove them wrong, that I don't know, just to get after it right away, to get back out there.
Toughness is trusting teammates. Toughness is being a leader. Toughness is communication. Toughness is you, Michael.
I guess you could say that. I guess if I look at academics, I know in the past I've struggled with some depression and stuff, so I get behind in classes, but with my mental toughness, I'm able to work back, catch up in classes, get my schoolwork in, and get my grades back up.
Has that made you a stronger person, knowing that you've had some of those setbacks?
Yeah, I think it lets me know that I can get through these hard times and still come out on top.
There's been other high school athletes on the show that have revealed that they've struggled with some depression. And what kind of advice would you give? And I'm extremely proud of you, and I think our viewers are too, in that statement you just made. Some advice you would give for maybe others your age or young people that are struggling with that?
I think you just got to stay consistent as much as you can with your schedule. And if you're really feeling down, you can't do something, if you know it's what's best for you, you got to try your best to get out there and do it.
Toughness, Drake, too, is not being consumed with yourself, but toughness is thinking of others first, in the world, in the overall, and in sports. Does that describe you?
I think it does. I always live off a philosophy of mind over matter. Are you hurt or are you injured, I guess, is kind of the main question I ask myself, because I know if I'm hurt that I can go out there and finish the job and go and do the best I can to help my teammates, but if I'm injured, I know that I have to remove myself from that sporting event or whatever the situation is, because I'm just going to be out there to hurt my team instead of help them.
Role models. We all have role models, people we look up to, and unfortunately sometimes we look up to people for the wrong reasons. Who are the role models that have impacted you in your life, Austin?
One of my youth baseball coaches, Scott Gilbertson, he's basically like my second dad. I don't know. He was always that. He was always there for me, even outside when I was having a tough time, in school or on the diamond. He'd always be the one to bring me up, and he taught me he basically taught me the mental aspect of the game.
So, are you strong mentally?
I believe so, yes.
So if I asked Coach Blank how strong you are from the neck up, what would his reaction be?
I would like to think that he would say I'd be a pretty strong person from the neck up.
Good. Because that's where so many people fail. And there are role models and people that, when you think about that, have had an impact on your life, Michael, and your success story. Who would they be?
I'd say my mom. She's always been there for me. She's gone through her own tough parts, and she's taught me how to get through my tough stuff, how to just stay positive and kind of not worry about what other people think. Just stay on your own path and do what you need to do.
And you're not really consumed with what other people think, are you?
No, I could care less. I mean, as long as I know that I'm doing the right thing, I really care what other people think.
Because you're
of me.
comfortable in your own skin?
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear that, too. A lot of people aren't, but Drake, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Role models?
I'd have to say my dad. He's a pretty big influence on me. He pushes me, even though sometimes I'd rather not be pushed. He always influences me to take that next step, whether it's he'll go throw batting practice to me or he would go play basketball in my driveway. He just always has that hard-working, never quit mentality, and I think he shows that a lot with his job, and he transfers that over to me in athletics and education.
Are you saying that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree?
Yeah, I am.
You know that statement? So let's fast forward. You're just a few months from graduation. Let's fast forward to a year from now, next fall. We'll begin there. Where are you going to be? And then after that, what's your career?
Right now, I've been kind of just taking in different college baseball offers and talking to different coaches that are interested in me. I've kind of am starting to settle in on where I'm going to be, and I just plan on playing college baseball. That's a big part of where I'm going to be and a decision factor of where I'm going to be, but definitely education's going to come first in my final decision of where I'm going to play.
And then 10 years, 15 years from now, you're going to be in what position?
I'm actually going to follow my dad's footsteps, and I'm going to major in criminal justice and get into that career.
Good for you. I know, Michael, you have some plans too.
I'm planning on going to UW in Milwaukee next year and study architecture.
So you have a gift in that area, a special gift.
I guess, yeah.
And so a few years from now, you're going to own your own architectural firm.
I mean, that'd be great if it works out like that.
And of course, Austin, I know you're headed to Concordia, and then you're going to pitch for the Brewers probably, or play first base or whatever. But if that doesn't, if that falls through, then what?
I plan to major in finance, to be a financial advisor. My aunt lives up in the cities, and I can have connections through her, hopefully. So my career hope would be that.
Good. Well, you guys have done a great job, and we appreciate that. I know you're 3-3 on the season. You have a lot of time off now, and you don't play again until, I think, Tolma after the first of the year.
Yep.
And quick goals for the rest of the year.
Rest of the year, just to play hard as a team, win or loss, just make sure every night on the court that we give it our all and we give it our best effort.
So you can look in the mirror knowing that you did indeed play as hard as you could. How about you, Michael?
I'd say probably just come closer together as a team. We got a tough conference, and just stay together. If we struggle sometimes here or there, we got to stay close together and keep fighting.
And Drake, chances are you're not going to have the gold ball down at the Kohl Center, but there's still certainly a chance to have a season of significance. How will you measure that at the end?
Just knowing that we all came together and we just went out there and gave it our all, and just know that wherever we go, we're going to compete, and we're not going to leave anything left inside of us when we go back to the locker room after the game.
Yeah, something tells me that you will, and I'm sure our viewers would agree with this, that you are the shining stars of Holmen basketball, Holmen High School, Holmen athletics, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back with some film clips right after this.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
I can see. I don't have to wear my glasses for driving, to go to the movies, for reading.
And I think it's a wonderful thing to offer people that freedom and independence of lenses, whether they're contact lenses or glasses, to be able to function every day from the morning to the evening and not think about it.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. We've had some exciting high school basketball in the early part of the 2016-2017 season. January, February, and March will bring you more games, exciting games on both the boys and the girls side as we continue our commitment to bring you local sports coverage here at KQEGTV 23. It's also been our privilege to bring you Seven Rivers Sports each and every week during this past year. We hope you've enjoyed the show as we continue to try to find ways to improve our format, bring more guests, a variety of guests, on our show each and every week. If you ever have a thought on a format or a guest, please contact us here at KQEG. From the entire staff of Seven Rivers Sports, we want to wish you a happy, healthy, and an active 2017. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, thanking you for joining us each and every week on Seven Rivers Sports.